Hi everyone, it's Andrea at DIY Supplies. Just wanted to do a quick little video tonight and show you how I made this vintage looking jar. It's all made with paper, vintage ornaments, and vintage Christmas bulbs. So I'm just going to put it aside for now and show you how I did it. First thing you'll need is just a printer to print off the stickers that you'd like to place on the jar. This was the jar I used. It's a dollar store pasta jar, so I like the shape of it. And it says pasta, but I covered up that area with the vintage label. As you can see, the labels, when they print out, look really fresh and clean, which is nice. But I was going for a vintage look, so I distressed the label, so you can kind of see the difference there, how much older the label looks once you've done that. Go. And to distress it, I just used a little bit of distress ink. I've also used wax in the past. I just happen to have the distress ink handy, so I'll show you how I did that. Just added a little bit to my pad. It comes off quite dark at first. There's my bulbs. So I typically grab a piece of paper from somewhere and just rub a little bit of it off so it's not too dark. And just gently hit the corners first of my label that I'm going to use. And I just kind of go by eye what I like. So a little bit more. A little darker, hitting all the edges so you don't see the white paper edges when you press it, and just working it from there. Oh, I like that. I really like the way it works on the shiny bright ornament one. So darken up those edges. It just really brings it that nice vintage touch. And then I'm gonna, because I've already done that particular sticker, I'm gonna use this one on my jar so I can put them together, but it's a little more interesting when they look different. Just darken that up a bit, so you can do as little or as little or as much as you like for the look. I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, I keep going. There we go. Yep. And done. So that part's simple. So then, just take my jar. I've already cleaned it, soap and water. Pull off my sticker. And I place it right over the pasta. Pretty good. I printed those off the other night so they're dry, but I would suggest you wait a day when they come out of the printer, because sometimes the ink is still a little wet and it gets smudgy if you use the label too early. So that's done. Then you can either fill it or tie your bow. I feel like tying the bow for some reason, so just using a little bit of velvet. That should be good. Cut a little extra just in case. It fits very nicely on that rim. And it's easier to tie now than opposed to when you've got the whole ornament on there. It gets in your way a bit. Just tie it nice and tight. You could use a drop of glue, but I don't usually bother with that. And just make sure that it comes out to a nice pretty bow. I want the velvet side showing. Flip that. I pulled it through backwards by accident. There we go. And then I just pull it back and forth until I've got it the way I want it. Oh, I just realized that part of it was flipped the wrong way. That's probably why I had trouble. This I want to look velvet. There we go. Making this look really hard, but it's usually not. Sorry, I'll speed up the video on this part. Okay, worst bow ever. Let's try that down through here. There we go. Well, I gotta say, I don't know why that's giving me so much trouble, but just one of those things. Okay, getting better now. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'll just pull that piece through just a little bit. Try to even it up. There we go. Holy cannoli. That was... Well, that was fun. Okay, turn that like this. Okay, you can always buy a store-bought ribbon if you are like me and struggle a bit with those, but just want to be patient. Great. And then these ones had the cork lid. So I just bought a little package of indoor lights. You can see that I use them in here. From the dollar store, just $1.25 here in Canada. And they require batteries, which I'll put in later because I forgot to bring them tonight. And just take that little bit of wire off. That's it. And then I just string them through the jar. I just start with a few of them, because I want them to kind of mix in with the lights. And get that out of the way. And we got a hold of a bunch of these really beautiful colored vintage Christmas lights. And I knew as soon as I saw them, I wanted to do something with them. They're so colorful. So I basically just filled the jar with these. And I just put a few different multicolored ones in. And I gently, or not so gently, put them in the jar. And then a few more inches of the lights. And then I just carried on with that process. If I didn't like some of the things I found, obviously I won't put those in. Just keep filling. You could fill them with multicolor like I did, or all one color. Really, you could fill them with any little Christmas bulbs, but I really, really like the vintage light bulbs and the gold on the bottom of them. So that's why I went this way. And then a few more. It's amazing how many you get in there. A little shake. I'm probably at about 2/3 now. So I want to make sure I get lots of light down in there so it's not all at the top. So that's pretty good, I think. A few more lights. Shake it. And think I'll be able to use them all. I really like these opaque ones. Colors are so nice. And look at that, just the right amount for 2. So I got 1 bag at a thrift store, and it did everything. It's super reasonable, like $3, so can't go wrong. And then just gonna put in the rest of my light. There we go. And then I'm gonna have to work with this. So if it bothers me, I just put packing tape on it and tape it on the side of the jar until I'm done. But we'll see how I do. So I've really been lately really liking this 2-sided tape. I've been using it in a lot of paper projects and other things because it's sticky, really sticky, but it's easily removable. Because whatever I do with this, I have to make sure that the person that buys this, or me, if I'm using this, can get this out to replace the batteries. So I put this here so that this part is still open and I could get to it. And there we go. And then what I'll be doing is gluing it on the cork. So where I usually start with this, I just peel this off, and I've got to remember to leave enough space for this to be able to sit on the cork. So the cord's just going to stick up a little bit. It's going to go here. There we go. Just like that. And for this design, I found these cute little vintage votive candle holders. They came with glass and a votive candle holder, but I took that out. And I'm just going to hot glue here and place it onto the cork. And then I'll work around it. So let's see. So we've got this guy ready to go. And this in here so the cord doesn't come around the edge. And it's very close. It works really well. So I'm just going to give a little bit of hot glue around the rim. Closer to the inner rim because it's really close to the inside. And there we go. I'm going to try to carefully get that by. Place that there. I'm just going to hold it. Ooh, I got some on my finger. I'm lucky it wasn't too hot. I usually keep a glass of water beside me so that if I stick glue on my finger, I put it right in the glass of water. And that's really nice to have. So I burn myself a lot for some reason. There we go. So that should be good enough. Oh yeah. And this could still come out when I'm ready. Now I'm kind of feeling that that's the front because I have a bit more space in here. So I'm going to place it like that. Okay, that's going to work. And then I'm going to, now that I know it's okay, I'm just going to add a little more glue here and let that dry just to make sure it doesn't rip off if someone's trying to pull it out to get in there and change the bulbs to something else or clean it or whatnot. I'll get this guy out of the way. I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. It should be okay. And while it's drying, I'll just quickly put together my little Santa decoration. And I've got this and this and this pre-cut to go together. And the other side. Oops, I got that backwards. This, and this. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is hide that battery with these two guys. And what I like to do is a little bit, really liking this distressed ink lately. So I take some of that. Just what I did with the, there we go, the other pieces with the stickers to these things come off, which are really cool. Put it on for another color. And then I'm going to use a bit of red. Because when I cut this paper, you can see that white rim. This is so easy to do, and it takes off that white edge. And I don't know, all my projects look better when I do this. There we go. So, I don't know, it just looks a little better to me. And the other side will be the same. Just take off that little bit of white so it doesn't look like I cut it out of paper like I did. There we go. Super fast. I think it makes a difference. And then back to that tape I was telling you about. I like using double-sided tape. This is a little thinner roll. And I just put them together using a little bit of double-sided tape to get a nice layered effect. Just like so. And another little piece. Like that. Take that apart. And then layer that. And I don't know, it's just a nice little 3D. It just looks a little nicer to me like that. Same idea. And this one I want to match so that they look good. So I'm going to tape white on here. There we go. And then my white layer. And then my Santa. And these are little vintage images that I bought on the computer, or of 1950s Santas. I just think they're so cute. There's that. And those are ready to go. So now, oops, that's not supposed to happen, but all right. There we go. Put that back in. Oh, I can hear my dog trying to get in my room. Crafting with my dog is not a good idea, so he's gonna have to wait. And I just put a little bit of the two-sided tape here and here. He's knocking on my door. The joys of working in a home office. And then I think I'm going to match this one, but I usually go by eye. But I don't really want to get one taller than the other, so we go by eye here. Just put Mr. Santa here. And the other one, going by eye again to match. Oh, that's a little high. There we go. And now just need to add a little detail. So I use a little bit of like faux greenery stuff. Touch of glue. I just try to be careful not to get the glue on the battery box because that has to come out. So I glue on the inside to make it adhere into the wreath itself. I would usually use a wooden stick, but I don't have one, so just working with what I got. And this guy, just gonna tuck him in there. Ah, that's good. And then I hate seeing the edge of the battery box. So I found these guys. That looks very nice and it really hides it well. So I glue on the inside of the leaf so that I stick it to the actual wreath and not the box, and it does a nice job of hiding. On the same side, same problem on this side, I mean. So I usually find something that's really big, so don't think I want to use that. I might just trim it. Just trim that a little bit. And yeah, that'll do the trick. Again on the inside. And I don't want to burn my fingers, but I'm going to have to jam that. What's nice, usually, actually I use a skewer, usually a wooden skewer, but like I said, I forgot to bring it, so got to work with what I got. And lastly, I feel like I need something over here too. So yeah, I'm just going to put 2 of these guys here. So 1, 2. And there's quite a bit of glue in there, so I'm hoping, there we go, that stays. And voila, I think it's done. There we go. It is done. I usually push this down. Forgot to do that. Got so excited. I'll put the cork down a bit. There we go. Not too tight because I like to be able to take it out and adjust things, but it is done. I'm just going to hold it in place right now because I'm going to wait till the glue dries to push it. But I was really happy with this project. It's really fun that it lights up, and I feel like it looks like a nice vintage style that I enjoy. So hope you like, and have a great evening. Thanks for watching.